Hey everyone, and welcome back to GenZ News Insider here on GenZ Talks. Now, in this week's episode, we're going to be talking about the rise of the youth unemployment crisis that's been going on since the start of COVID-19. I'm Reza.
And my name's Dan. And during this episode, we're going to be hearing from 4 young Gen Zers who share their insights about their struggles, as well as solutions on how to get young people back into work. And stay tuned until the end to hear both mine and Reza's thoughts as to what you could be doing to help you get into work and what events and platforms you can join today to improve your chances. Kicking things off, I recently spoke to a young man from Australia by the name of Nathaniel Diong, who's the CEO of Future Minds Network.
And I've recently spoken to James Goforth, a current student at the University of Warwick who's founded the Student Employability Summit. Here's what they've been up to in terms of helping young people get back into the world of work.
I ended up starting a company called Future Minds Network, where we helped young people create solutions to the problems they saw in the world. And over time, that evolved into coming into youth and unemployment and seeing how it can support young people to have the skills to face the future. So there's a huge opportunity for entrepreneurship to create more jobs for young people, whether that be actually them creating their own startups and having their own employees, to even working at a startup. And so in Victoria alone, in Melbourne, Victoria, there is the potential for, I think, 11,700 jobs to be created every year for the next 20 years. And that's just in one state alone, not including the countless countries that we have in the world. So they're more creative than ever, thinking of innovative solutions and making change. Particularly with Gen Z, they're not afraid to challenge the status quo and think of new ways of work and new ways that we can actually re-innovate and reinvent the wheel. But more than that, in an increasingly digital society, we have young people being more digitally literate than ever.
What I wanted to do then with the Student Employability Summit is create a one-stop shop for students to provide careers advice, motivation and inspiration, and some really cool insights to meet some really cool companies that they wouldn't ordinarily have had the opportunity to do so if they were on campus. And access is a really important thing for me in inclusivity. Like I want SES to be open to anyone and everyone. So it's kind of split into 3 streams. So stream 1 is main stage keynotes. So this is where the coolest people you can imagine are going to be on stage. We may have a fireside chat with them, they may do a keynote. So one we've released already is Lydia Violetta, who's a 200k plus YouTuber. We've got another one who is the VP or the ex-VP of Twitter. So he was the most senior leader outside of the US at Twitter. So this is the guy that made Twitter big in the UK. He also made YouTube big in the UK. The next bit is workshops. And the next bit is the breakout rooms. So the breakout rooms is kind of split into 2. We've got kind of the more active session. So if you don't know what you want to do, what career path to take, what do you do? Like how to start your own business at university, which I think is a really cool way to get experience. That's where you will see the likes of Microsoft, Linklaters, McKinsey, Elixir, all these great companies, PwC. We are sponsored by a company called Jumpstart. Now what Jumpstart do is they run the UK's only startup graduate scheme. So essentially you apply, they train you, they give you loads of tips, they help you develop yourself, and then you go and get a job in a startup that they bring in. So SES is on the 6th of March from 9 till 5:30 p.m. And if you want to register, head over to our website, which is studentemployabilitysummit.com, and click sign up here. And that will take you to our hop-in registration page. And from there, you click get ticket and then click the standard ticket. It's free. You just have to put your name and email in. That's it. And then you're registered.
Very great words from both James and Nathaniel right there. Now, moving on to our next 2 speakers, they're going to give us an insight on all things they're struggling with in terms of the youth unemployment crisis and what they're going through. So I've recently spoken to a young girl called Ashia Zahran, who is a recent graduate from the Hult International Business School in London.
And I recently spoke to a young girl called Marta Mazur, who's head of youth at the youth group. And here's what they had to say.
After I graduated, I felt very lost and I didn't know what to do. I knew that there is not going to be any acting work for a very long time. I somehow found the strength, and I think that it's very important to be able to give people this strength. Literally lying on my couch and not knowing what am I going to do with myself and where I'm going to be in a month, and really not believing that anyone is going to say yes to me, because I just heard so many no's from everyone, to being busy every day and getting to know so many amazing people. We're a company that is created by youth and for youth. So we're all about youth. So we want to create a community for people where they're going to, have mentoring available, when they're going to have different events and places where they can go and meet each other and just feel empowered and really understand their potential. We organize these 45-minute sessions where you can talk about all of your struggles and have someone advise you and really take time to think about your career. We have huge plans of creating a digital embassy where people can go and join different events and groups and really have the sense of community. We're working on a program, Get a Job, where we're going to be helping young people get into jobs and, have exclusive offers from the companies that we've partnered with, so they can then straight go there and be hired and be happy.
I noticed that a lot of people use LinkedIn to find work opportunities. They would either post that they're open to work, or they would share their CV and ask their friends to share and tag people, or they would comment on other people's posts. So I wanted to get in on that. So I started posting more, commenting more, and I connected with a lot of new people, including you. And I thought maybe that would make the algorithm favor my profile. A lot of people were reaching out to me on LinkedIn saying that they might have roles that I, could be interested in. And I think that's kind of an important part of hiring at the moment. A lot of people want to hire someone that would fit in their company culture, and not just because you tick all the boxes. Earlier this year, I was feeling very demotivated and discouraged just because so many rejections. I actually thought that it was hopeless. I thought this was never gonna happen. But I think what motivates me is knowing that I'm not alone in the situation, and knowing that other people are also going through the same things I'm experiencing. Push myself to keep going, and if one thing doesn't work, try something different, see if that changes anything, and I would give it a little time. And if it still doesn't work, I would try something else. And if you keep doing that, you'll eventually find something that will work for you, and you get to keep improving in the process. So
some great insights from all four speakers, as well as solutions that young people can embrace today to help them with their chances of getting into work. And actually, Reza, I want to start by discussing the entrepreneurship route, which is a real viable career path, one which can not only create jobs for the founders, but founders can create jobs for other young people. And I really think this is important going forward in helping tackle the unemployment crisis. What do you think?
More young people are realizing that you don't have to gain experience from a big established company to gain valuable experience. And I think a lot of young people are realizing that the entrepreneurial route does offer those kind of skills, whether you started the business or you're working at a new business, a startup business.
Secondly, Reza, I really want to discuss the value young people can bring to the workplace today. For companies, for managers, hiring managers, CEOs watching this video, I wanted to realize this is a generation unlike any other younger generation when it comes to work and knowledge and creative minds. This generation is more suited to the new world of work than any other generation in terms of skill set, the new skills required. What do you think about, should companies be tapping into Gen Z more than they are right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. These are skills that we can teach older generations and how to innovate their work better, how to work more efficiently and make the most of technology in the workplace. From our perspective, that means we can offer a deeper insight into how to tap into different markets that older generations won't typically understand.
Older experienced workers are not used to the new ways of doing things. They've got amazing experience, contacts, very good at their job, but the world of work might be changing too quick, and the generation to give them to make the transition smoother, for me, are Generation Z. And I think both generations need to work together to swap skills, mindset, to be able to get over the rough bumps that are upcoming.
A lot of young people are realizing that they can't always rely on the traditional ways of finding work. And Ashia has said this as well herself, that the traditional way isn't working for her, and that she had to find new ways to find opportunities and make connections that the traditional way just doesn't offer.
So I think LinkedIn is a platform which is going to be so vital for young people going forward.
Absolutely. And like Ashia said, the more content she's put out on LinkedIn and the more she's engaged with people's posts and commented on them, the algorithm has actually helped her in terms of getting more exposure to people of senior positions, and that's actually helped her get more offers and more people directing her to the right places to get these job opportunities.
I want to move on now in terms of the mental health, the well-being. I think it's so important for young people to look after themselves, to try and get a routine which includes good habits, especially a morning routine. Morning routine sets your day up. A few things I would recommend is to do some simple things like have a to-do list, go for a quick jog, celebrate little successes. So I would set half an hour of your day in the morning to really think about what you want to achieve, juggle things up and not to do the same things. And remember to also rest and don't overdo it. Important to have breaks because it can be a very stressful process. So that wraps things up for today. We hope you enjoyed the excellent insights from the young speakers about such a crucial topic. And we hope that you really embrace the communities, the platforms and the events which you've heard today.
And it's important to remember as well that sometimes, yes, it will be hard times while you're looking for work during these times, especially during COVID. But we hope that these new innovative ways to find work and to get yourself back out there will definitely help you with your future career.
And stay tuned for the next episode where we're going to be discussing life after uni. So until next time, we'll see you then.
Bye.